the best player in the league doesn't always get the MVP. Alright, so the NBA awards are tonight. What do I think? What do I want to happen? And what's going to happen? So, the first thing I'll get into is I'm not going to make a best coach of the year or whatever video. Because, honestly, we all know all the coaches are great except for Tyronn Lue. But no, what I'm actually going to talk about is MVP and Rookie of the Year. So I'm going to go with Rookie of the Year first. So Rookie of the Year, in my opinion, is a dead heat between Jayson Tatum and Ben Simmons. Let's see. Who do I want? Ben Simmons is a baller. He really is. But Jayson Tatum has had a huge influence. And honestly, when he was hurt and he got collided into that other guy's head, you know, him and Kevin Love collided heads, he wasn't the same after that. Not the whole rest of the game and not the game after that. So, honestly, if he wouldn't have got hurt, I think we would be talking about, instead of the Cavs and the Warriors, it would have been the Celtics and the Warriors in the finals. But we can't play our lives on what ifs. But I personally think Jayson Tatum deserves it more. I think they're probably going to give it to Ben Simmons, even though I think Jayson Tatum had a bigger impact. But let's go into the MVP. So it's a bit unsteady on the MVP. I heard Stephen A. say this today. So what he was talking about was the best player in the league doesn't always get the MVP, and that's due to the roller coaster ride on how your season's doing. So let's talk about what happened with this Cavs team the last year. Well, they traded to get a whole bunch of people, like Rose. They traded to get Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, and none of them panned out. And honestly, it had a negative effect on their locker room, and their team kind of like split. And then, so your team goes up and down. They finally trade him away. Good decision. And I'm happy Dwayne Wade's back in Miami. Whoop! But that's where the problems start. The problems start with, honestly, JR wasn't the same JR the year before as he was this past year. Kevin Love, although he had great numbers, he really didn't have a big impact in the team. No one did but LeBron. But the problem with LeBron's argument of MVP is they didn't always have success. And when you are the MVP, you're the most valuable player. It doesn't mean if you're the most valuable player on your team. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about on the league. And the MVP, for the most part, has to win. We've seen this a lot last year with Russell Westbrook, and I'm shocked, but I'm very happy he got MVP. He deserved it. But this year, I think it goes to James Harden. I think LeBron deserves his MVP due to something else. His ability to work with a ton of players that aren't any good except for maybe Larry Nance and still make it to the finals. That's pretty great. But a lot of the other teams were pretty weak, and that's what LeBron likes. He likes that conference, so it's weak. He gets the. I'm not gonna finish because we ain't got time for all that. But yeah, I think it goes to James Harden. I think it should. I think, although you can make the argument on him having CP3, but he has been steadily consistent like the last 3 years in his work. And this year especially, he just bounced incredibly up in his ability to make plays with the ball. He's always had that, but I think he took a step further this year. I think he deserves MVP. I don't think there's no doubt. There's no way Anthony Davis is going to get it, honestly. You can make the argument that he was dealing with a bad team too, but then again, the same thing applies. James Harden won more. He didn't have that much help on the offensive side. LeBron, he's great, but he's not going to win MVP because we've seen him do all this stuff before. If he played like pick a player. If he played like Dwight Howard, you know, the current Dwight Howard, the last few years, and then pulled this out this year, oh, it would be no doubt. We'd be voting for MVP crazy. But I think since we've seen a lot of this before, I think that James Harden is going to get MVP. Comment down below what you think and who you would like. And for all those that are new, I make videos just like this all the time. But it really helps me out to get you what you guys want to see. Meaning, go down in that little comment section down below and comment what kind of videos you would like or on what topics. But, yeah, without further ado, if you're new around here, subscribe, hit that like button, and comment down below what you would like to see next. And if you are just new subscribing, I have this thing where I ask you to, if you want a shout out, just go into the comment section and say I subbed, and I will get you a shout out in the next video. So without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.